Hello, and welcome to Mid-America Arts Alliance's roundtable presentation for the Heartland Craft Guilds program. My name is Christine Bile. I am the Director of Arts and Humanities Grant Programs for Mid-America Arts Alliance. Mid-America Arts Alliance is a nonprofit regional arts organization that serves Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Texas. We focus on strengthening communities and improving lives through extraordinary cultural experiences. The Heartland Craft Guilds program is a new program offered by Mid-America Arts Alliance with support from the Maxwell Hanrahan Foundation, who share our commitment to creative, hands-on engagement with materials, mastery of technique, and the preservation, innovation, and evolution of heritage work. Heartland Craft Guilds program will provide general, operating, and technical assistance to organizations with annual operating expenses under $500,000. We at Mid-America Arts Alliance aim to distribute a total of $180,000 across our 6-state region to a broad range of guilds and cultural organizations, particularly those closely connected to underrepresented communities that are vital to preserving and sustaining craft traditions, community-based knowledge, and hands-on making. Underrepresented communities are those whose opportunities are limited by geography, race, economics, and/or disability. And we defined craft as the skillful hands-on creation of original three-dimensional objects connected to cultural traditions, heritage practices, or community-based knowledge. Again, Mid-America intends to provide $12,000 for the purposes of operational support to 15 organizations across our 6-state region. The Heartland Craft Guild program goals are twofold. First, grantees will receive $12,000 for operational support to enhance their organizational capacity, expand their impact, and improve the well-being of both their organization and, in turn, the members they serve. And second, through collaborative learning, grantees will connect with each other, create new networks, and develop strategies to catalyze broad impact across the region. This will take place in a variety of ways, including monthly learning sessions and resource sharing. Mid-America's Organizational Services Division will provide technical assistance for this program. Technical assistance is also known as capacity building or professional development in some circles. It will happen in 3 cycles. Each cycle is 3 months long, with a small break in between. During that break, Mid-America will evaluate the program and adapt it for the next cycle. Each cycle will include, but is not limited to, monthly cohort sessions, one-on-one consultations, and resource sharing to connect grantees with new networks, to build skills, and adopt strategies to assess and address challenges. Cycle 1 will kick off in September of this year and conclude in November. We'll have a little break around the holiday season and do some evaluation. It'll pick back up again in January of 2027 and go through March. Again, we'll have another break, and then the 3rd cycle will begin in May and wrap up in July. The guiding question for evaluation of this program is: how do historically underserved craft guilds and cultural organizations align their mission, organizational structures, and engagement with their membership to enhance their organizational well-being and better support more craftspeople? Our evaluation process begins with a light baseline assessment to see where you are at the beginning of the program. From there, we will have ongoing participant workshop surveys at the end of every cycle, so you'll have 3 in total with a final assessment. Now let's talk eligibility. Location, location, location is primary. Your organization must be located in and have an arts and culture presence in Mid-America's 6-state region. Most of Mid-America's grant-making is limited to 501c3 nonprofits, but for this program, we are expanding eligibility to also include fiscally sponsored groups, artist-centered or artist-led collectives that are incorporated or structured as LLCs, S-Corps, and limited or general partnerships, as well as state or federally recognized tribal entities. And all organizations that apply must have an operating budget of less than $500,000. The organization must self-identify as a member-based organization whose primary creative discipline is handmade, three-dimensional craft objects, and they value work rooted in cultural traditions, heritage, or community practices. Organizations must have at least 3 years of craft programming for their members. We welcome first-time applicants and those located in rural, remote, or isolated areas. And last but not least, it's important to note that this opportunity is not for sole proprietorships or individuals, nor is it for local, state, or federal government entities, including public or private schools. This program is also not for organizations that focus on hobby crafts, cosplay, or graphic design, or other two-dimensional practices. The funding associated with this program is unrestricted, which means it can be used for routine business expenses such as rent, utilities, salaries, and supplies, as well as any expense in support of the organization's mission that advances its goals, including current and new programs or other new initiatives. There are a few exceptions: foreign travel, lobbying, or capital projects such as new construction or the purchase of land or buildings are not eligible expenses. And if your organization is an artist collective incorporated as an LLC, an S-Corp, limited or general partnership, then this funding cannot be used by your organization for the sole benefit of any private shareholder or individual. Successful applicants will help diversify Mid-America's grant making, including organizations that are led by people of color or members of other underrepresented communities, organizations with a demonstrated commitment to or are rooted in underrepresented communities, those that are located in rural, remote, or isolated areas of the region, first-time applicants or those who have received few or no grants from Mid-America Arts Alliance, and organizations with new leadership in key roles. Those are our funding priorities, but we welcome applications from all sorts of craft guilds and organizations. The application is still very much a work in progress. However, we anticipate that it will include a short but sweet questionnaire about eligibility, roughly 10 questions circling back to those criteria that we've already covered. Then we also expect to include applicant information, of course, to know where you live, what your mission is, and the personnel that are involved with the organization. We hope to have 4 narrative questions about the organization's values, the members it serves, and the anticipated impact of this program for the organization. There will be an opportunity to upload a number of different kinds of documents, including letters of recommendation from your community or from your membership to tell us about your organization and how it works. We will also be looking for a proof of incorporation, a budget, as well as any support materials, such as work samples, photos of work that your organization does, excerpts from other kinds of annual reports, or short videos. All applications will be submitted through Mid-America's online portal, and we will supply grant materials in alternate formats upon request. We intend to provide a lot of support for applicants as we go through this process. This presentation will be available in the coming days, and we will also provide a walkthrough video of the application when it becomes available in March. Frequently asked questions will be listed on the website. We welcome emails at our email address for this program, heartlandcraft@ma.org. We intend to respond within about 24 hours to any questions that come our way there. We also will offer office hours on Wednesday afternoons starting in April. For us, office hours are not a one-on-one meeting. It's a group session where you can ask your questions and hear questions from others that join the call. and then you'll all be able to hear directly from staff. Some join for the entire time, while others drop in to ask their question and then leave. I've even had folks join the Zoom session in just the last 15 minutes of the office hours time period. Any and all of those opportunities are available to applicants as a way of supporting you through this application process. So the timeline. The application will open later in March. We will host office hours starting in April. Applications close May 15th. The learning cohort meetings will begin in August, and a final report will be due a year from August. Thank you so much for your attention and for your interest in Heartland Craft Guild's program. Please email us for more information at heartlandcraft@ma.org.